what they do, primetime entertainment. But all the people on that show, from Drew Carey on down, I'm telling you, are very solid citizens. They're great people. I had a lot of fun doing it. As far as seeming out of place, I don't know. One thing I have learned about television, my friends, and one of the reasons why I'm not all that crazy about it, is that oftentimes, what still happens now, I go on television, whatever form, be it a Sunday morning show, or be it a straight one-on-one interview, or be it a program like last night. And I've always just used myself as a judge. Okay, I know when I've done well and when I haven't. I don't need to be told when it's not as good as it could be. I think most of you are probably that way if you're honest with yourself. But still, you come out of one of these things, and oftentimes, man, this was great. I love this. And then the people, what I would have done if I were you, or what you should have done is this. Well, why didn't you have your hair parted in a different way? And people make all these judgments on it that you think, how did they even notice that? So your comments are much appreciated. The thing I've learned about television, when it's all said and done, is that what people remember more than anything else for the longest time is how you look. What was the audience's visual perception of you is what matters. It's a one-dimensional medium. It is based, it's a sight-based, vision-based medium. And if you can do well in that form, then you're going to be all right on TV. If you don't, then no matter how bright you are, how smart you are, no matter what, you're not going to make TV your primary career. I, of course, am capable of it. Don't misunderstand. This is what I've learned about it. Bill, thanks for the phone call. Monty, by the way, I'll tell you something else about this last night. That who could have known when I taped it? But can I just share one little insight of my own with you about this show? All over television for the past 3 weeks, no matter where you watch at night, be it Fox, PMS, NBC, CNBC, CNN, major networks, you have people from all walks of life, left, right, middle, and people who don't know who or what they are. And no matter what show you watch, you see intense shouting, screaming, intense interruption. You see people are trying to be smarter than the other people on the show. You see basically a bunch of contrived rivalries and so forth. And here, in many of your people's minds, one of America's leading conservative spokesmen, where in all this do I show up but on a comedy show? And I said, do I have my life in perspective or what? But I think it's good. Don't misunderstand. I think it's good. Monty in Fort Hood, Texas. I'm glad you called. Welcome to the show.
Rush, Mega Camouflage 17-year Army veteran dittos.
Thank you, sir.
If I could, a quick hello to my dad, Bad Bob, and friend Jeremiah Joe. Rush, you looked great last night on TV. I know you're not.
See, and I've gotten over 1,000, thousands of emails now, and I've found 5. And by this is not a complaint; it's an observation, not a complaint at all. Don't misunderstand. 1,000 emails and only 5 comment on something other than looks. It's just that's what I know. I know television, folks. Understand, but that's not a complaint. Don't anybody misunderstand what I'm saying. Yes, Monty, go ahead.
Well, you look great last night on TV. I know you're not on the presidential fitness program, but I am interested to know what regimen you have been using to look so trim.
Well, I'll be glad to go into it, but I always say this when people ask me about this, and they're asking me a lot lately when they see me. I always say, look, this is my own creation. It is actually a combination of all. I've done every diet in the world there is except Weight Watchers. And the reason I have never done Weight Watchers is because I don't want to measure stuff. But other than that, I've done every diet. Well, I haven't done Jenny Craig, those two, but I've done every other diet there is. And I've learned something about all of them. They all work. Every diet you go on, you lose weight. I don't care what it is. And I'm talking about real diets. I'm not talking about, the grapefruit diet, but whatever it is, you lose weight. That's not the problem. It's not the challenge. The challenge is finding a diet that pretty much approximates the way you as an individual have to eat the rest of your life in order to keep the weight off. And after doing 9 or 10 diets over the course of my adult life, I think I figured it out. So mine is just a combination of primarily 3 things. 0 sugar other than for occasional fruit. Low carbohydrate, and the carbohydrate I eat is complex. Low, almost non-existent fat, and by non-existent I mean 15 grams or less a day. And no booze. No alcohol of any kind, save for occasionally a glass of wine, as long as I eat some protein with it. And however you want to put together the food that makes all that up, I don't count calories. I don't eat whatever I want whenever. I find that I'm eating less anyway. Now, I have to tell you something. I don't know why this is happening. I wish I did, actually. But food is now the lowest priority in my life it's ever been. I can't tell you why. I mean, if there's something's happened in my hypothalamus, which is a gland in the brain that's caused this, great. I'd like to find out what it was, but it's the absolute truth. I also have someone who prepares the things I eat, because if I didn't have that, I would have grown tired of turkey sandwiches 3 months ago and gotten off this diet. You'd be amazed at the stuff I'm eating. You'd be amazed, and think that you could lose weight, but I'm doing it. But I don't think it's that big a deal, folks. I mean, like I say, you can lose weight any way you want out there. It's always tough to do. This is the easiest one I've ever done. It's my own creation, a combination of all the things I've done in the past that have worked, with the focus being, all right, find a way to eat where you lose a lot of weight real fast on any diet, and as it levels off, you want to end up losing a pound or 2 a week, max, so that you've pretty much found out the way you should eat the rest of your life. You've taught yourself that, and if you just follow the lessons after that, then you've got it made. We'll take a break and be back in a moment.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
Hey, Valentine's Day is coming up, and you have a bunch of options to get that special someone in your life: candy, flowers, a night on the town, of Bose Wave Radio. That's right, you heard me. Call 800-625-BOSE and get your Valentine a Bose Wave Radio. Why? Well, to start with, you're showing impeccable taste. Bose is the best in sound. You are giving audio enjoyment that goes on and on. The Bose Wave Radio fills the room with rich, full sound and makes your favorite music sound better than ever. You will not believe the bass sound in this radio, folks. It also comes with a remote, so you can change stations from the comfort of your favorite chair. You haven't heard music the way it was meant to be heard until you listen to it on the Bose Wave Radio. And just wait till you hear me on a Bose Wave Radio. Don't take my word for it. Call now, 800-625-BOSE. Order a Bose Wave Radio for Valentine's Day, and Bose will even throw in free shipping, so you won't have to pay the freight. And on top of all that, you get a 30-day in-home trial. So call now, 800-625-BOSE.
Just wait until you taste all the delicious lunch items on the Seafood and Country Buffet at Madison's. The buffet at Madison's features 6 to 8 meats daily with daily features. On Tuesday, it's roast beef au jus. Wednesdays, it's fried pork chops. Thursdays, Madison's features backbone and homemade meatloaf. And on Fridays, it's barbecue pork ribs. Madison's is known for great evening dining, so why not try them for lunch? The buffet is only $4.99. The next time you want a great lunch at a great price, make it Madison's. Prime rib and steak, 413 New Hope Road, Goldsboro. The famous 1-cent shoe sale is now going on at Family Shoe Store, downtown Goldsboro. A large group of ladies' shoes. Buy 1 pair at regular price. Get a second pair for 1 cent. While you're there, check out the SAS walking shoes for a Valentine's special someone. Men's and ladies' styles are available. Remember, it's the 1-cent shoe sale. Now at Family Shoe Store, Eastern North Carolina's largest selection of shoes, specializing in hard-to-find sizes. Family Shoe Store, Walnut and John Streets, downtown Goldsboro. If you think you're paying more than you have to for your car insurance, see State Farm agent Greg Foster. He represents State Farm, a company well known for low-cost car insurance. Greg Foster will give you good service and good coverage as well. Even more importantly, if you have an accident, Greg Foster will make sure your claim is handled properly and promptly. Why pay more than you have to for car insurance? Compare State Farm's cost, coverage, and service. Then see Greg Foster at 908 East Ash Street, Goldsboro. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Using McCain Employment Services just makes sense.
I have realized and I now know that the way to maximize my profit is to use the personnel that are needed on a day-to-day basis. And when I have a situation that needs extra people, additional people, bring those in for the short term, bring those in for that particular need, and then release those personnel until I need them again.
Call McCain Employment Services at 527-8367 or 735-5200.
WGBR.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the EIB Network. It's El Rushball with not enough time for another caller. Now, all of you on hold, be patient. We'll get to you. Whatever question or comment you have, it shall be aired. You will be rewarded, but you must be patient. We also have put together a couple of sound bites from the President's joint press conference today with Tony Blair, and we'll let you hear what he had to say in the monologue segment of the next hour. 800-282-2882 is a phone number. Be patient. We'll be right back.
They're flocking into United States Cellular for our Valentine's specials. I'm here with a Mr. Stupid?
That's Cupid. Some kid took a marker to my Cupid jacket and turned the C into an S.
Right, and added the T there. I didn't recognize you with clothes.
Oh, like I'm supposed to wear a diaper in February?
Hey, stupid!
That's Cupid.
I suppose you're here for our Valentine's specials.
Well, I've been reading all the articles about love and communication, you know, and I'm thinking of trading in the arrows for cell phones.
Interesting. And with these deals, there's no better time to do it.
Plus, my aim's not what it used to be.
Ah, that would explain Lisa Marie and Michael.
I got those arrows on discount.
Yes. Hurry before these Valentine's deals are gone.
Next time I'm going to stick with the name brand.
United States Cellular, the way people talk around here.
Come in now and get a plan for $15.95 a month that includes 30 local minutes a month for 12 months or 50% off access for 3 months on plans $25 or greater, and you can get 98-cent phones. Offer requires a 1-year service agreement. Restrictions and charges apply. See store for details. Expires February 14th, 1998.
First in Wayne County. Hear what everybody's talking about. 1150 WGBR Goldsboro.
NBC Radio News. President Clinton once again denies the allegations of sex and perjury swirling around him.
I've said the charges aren't true. There's an investigation going on. While that's going on, it's my duty to keep doing the job I was hired to do by the American people.
Clinton made his comments during a photo opportunity with British Prime Minister Tony Blair. He talked just moments after the Whitewater Independent Council assessed the progress of the investigation for reporters in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Moving very quickly, and we have made very significant progress.
Kenneth Starr, though, had little to say about failure of an immunity deal with former intern Monica Lewinsky. She reportedly has until tomorrow to agree to be questioned or face possible prosecution. Defense officials say 2,000 U.S. Marines aboard warships in the Mediterranean Sea will now join American forces in the Persian Gulf amid the standoff with Iraq. Officials say the order could come soon. A third aircraft carrier now in the region today. I'm Barbara Porter.
This Valentine's Day, send your sweetheart the most romantic gift they'll ever receive. Have a star named after them. For $45 and a call to 800-282-3333. The International Star Registry will send them a full-color parchment certificate, sky charts to locate their star, and a fascinating booklet on astronomy. The new star name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Call 800-282-3333. The International Star Registry. 800-282-3333. A gift that lasts as long as your love.
I can't get my kids to eat right. All they want is junk food. Do they like chocolate milk?
Chocolate milk!
Try giving them extra nutrition with rich chocolate Ovaltine. It's got vitamins Nestle Quick and Hershey syrup don't.
Yeah, it may be good for them, but will they like it?
My kids love it, hot or cold.
So my kids will like Ovaltine and it's good for them? Wow.
When my kids want chocolate milk, it's rich chocolate Ovaltine.
More Ovaltine, please!
Increasing tensions over the Iraqi weapons inspection standoff have fueled a warning from the State Department to Americans abroad. Correspondent Howard Moss reports.
The State Department says it knows of no specific threats to U.S. citizens or interests, but it's not ruling out the possibility of random acts of anti-American violence tied to the Iraq situation. U.S. citizens traveling or residing abroad are being advised to exercise greater than usual caution, and U.S. diplomatic posts worldwide are taking appropriate security measures.
At a White House meeting with President Clinton, British Prime Minister Tony Blair had a message for Iraqi strongman Saddam Hussein. He says the threat of force against Baghdad is very real. At least 15 deaths now blamed on a powerful storm bearing down on the East Coast. In parts of Virginia, flooding after heavy rains have forced major evacuations. In Florida, the self-proclaimed leader of a vampire cult entered a guilty plea to killing the parents of one of his cult members. 17-year-old Rod Farrell made the deal just as opening statements got underway in his trial. A Democratic fundraiser charged with trying to buy influence with the president has pleaded not guilty at his arraignment in Washington. A judge has set an October trial date for Charlie Tree, who fled to China last year when Congress started the campaign finance investigation. The QVC shopping network has an out-of-this-world gimmick for sale. It's auctioning off space pens that write in zero gravity. They were featured on a recent Seinfeld episode, and QVC's Greg Siegel believes pitching them from the mirror is going to boost sales.
The pen was the one that was featured on a Seinfeld episode about a year or so ago. And we thought, boy, wouldn't it be great to offer that for sale on QVC? And once we got a hold of the pen itself, we decided that putting it for sale from the mirror would probably be the best way to feature it.
The pens sell for $30 each. On Wall Street at this hour, the Dow is down 24, trading at 81.05. With NBC Radio News, I'm Barbara Porter.
This Valentine's Day, send your sweetheart the most romantic gift they'll ever receive. Have a star named after them. For $45 and a call to 800-282-3333. The International Star Registry will send them a full-color parchment certificate, sky charts to locate their star, and a fascinating booklet on astronomy. The new star name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Call 800-282-3333. The International Star Registry. 800-282-3333. A gift that lasts as long as your love.
Recognize this? That's right. It's the routine reaction to the common side dish. But this week is your chance to put a stop to side dish invisibility. It's So Stop. Start with the stuffing week. Just start with the stuffing. Make the rest of your dinner as usual. Your side dish will be, the whole meal will be more. And you'll hear. In fact, we guarantee your family will notice, or the box is on us. So tonight, pick up some stovetop. After all, everything else is just stuff. Details in February 7th TV Guide.
Police Department, Sergeant John speaking.
Oh, please come quick. They're holding me hostage.
Now, calm down, ma'am. Can you try to describe them?
They're brown, ugly, and have antennas.
Ma'am?
They're roaches.
Roaches? Is that your last name?
That's their only name. They're bugs, for goodness sake.
Well, you don't need the police. You need Griffin Exterminating. They can wipe out any pest problem you've got.
Even a leech?
You've got leeches, too.
Just one.
Ma'am?
My brother-in-law.
For all your pest problems, call Griffin Exterminating. Whether it's termites, fleas, or roaches, Griffin Exterminating is sure to come to the rescue. Call 735-3928.
Well, it looks like it'll stay cloudy and chilly across the area today. Kind of a stiff northerly wind that should start to diminish some during the afternoon and evening. We'll look for some patchy drizzle or a few sprinkles here and there as well. High temperatures today will range between about 39 and 45 degrees. Tonight will continue cloudy with occasional drizzle. Lows tonight in the low to mid-30s. Then on Friday, mostly cloudy skies. We'll have light winds tomorrow from the north and northeast. Highs tomorrow between about 41 and 46. I'm Mike Moss at the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Performing my job with flawless broadcast excellence, this is Rush Limbaugh on WGBR. expressed by the host on this program, rooted in a relentless, unwavering, unstoppable pursuit of the truth. Rush Limbaugh and the Excellence in Broadcasting Network, broadcast excellence straight ahead. Glad you're along. Phone number 1-800-282-2882. Email address is rush@eibnet.com. Orders received by U.S. factories recorded their steepest decline in more than 5 years in December as aircraft demand faltered, but shipments of finished manufactured goods rose. Orders dropped 2.5%. Oh, no. Don't tell me it might be the economy, stupid. All right, folks, let's get straight to it. The president met today with Tony Blair. He's in town for a couple of days to talk about a number of things with the president of the United States. And the two leaders met the press. And we have a couple of sound bites from this abbreviated press conference that I'd like you to hear, and then some comment and analysis. We'll go soundbite by soundbite. Here's number one.
Mr. President, would you like to use this occasion to tell the American people what kind of relationship, if any, you had with Monica Lewinsky?
Well, I've already said that the charges are false, but there is an ongoing investigation.
Stop it there. I've already said that the charges are false and that there is an ongoing investigation. Now, I don't mean to split hairs here, but what is this? There's an ongoing investigation. It's not as though we're investigating what George Stephanopoulos is doing in his Columbia University classroom and the president can't possibly know. We are investigating what the president did. And with whom and where. And for him, he's the sole source that they need. If he would just come forward, and this is the press has picked up on this. The press saying, look, as long as he doesn't answer some of these specific questions about this is going to continue to linger and hover like a cloud, maybe like a gathering thunderstorm. What do you mean? What is it to say when you are being investigated? It's an ongoing investigation, and well, clear it up, end the investigation. But to hide behind, there's an investigation and I can't really comment here. Why not? I mean, the idea you can't comment is what's leading everybody to continue to be suspicious. All right, resume the tape.
I think it's important that I go back and do the work for the American people that I was hired to do. I think that's what I have to do now.
Because the investigation's ongoing, and while the investigation's going on, somebody has got to run the country. I got to do the work of the American people while this investigation's going on. The investigation is of him. He knows. This investigation can be over in 30 seconds. If what he says is true, the investigation could be over in 30 seconds. Am I wrong about that? If his denial is true, he could end this investigation in 30 seconds and then go back to doing the work of the American people. The next little soundbite, and I'll read the question to you because the question is low volume. You may not be able to hear it. The reporter asks, are you going to exercise executive privilege?
Are you going to exercise executive privilege, sir?
First, let me make it clear, for 4 years we've been cooperating.
Oh.
Exhaustively.
Oh.
And that's a hypothetical question, as far as I know. Should it arise, I will await a recommendation from the White House counsel about the institutional responsibilities of the presidency, and then when I get it, then I'll make a decision.
A hypothetical question. Remember now, this is part of the talking points that obviously are being distributed. Whenever anybody from Ann Lewis to the president now to the Roy Romer of the Democratic National Committee or Begala Carville, whatever they're out there defending the president, whenever they're asked a question, like, well, that's hypothetical. We don't talk about hypotheticals. I don't know about that. We've been cooperating for 4 years vigorously. Yeah, like records that disappear for 2 years and then miraculously, mysteriously reappear in the White House residence. One of the reasons this investigation has gone on for so long is that the White House cooperation has not been thorough and vigorous. Now this, my friends, leads me to today's Bob Herbert column in the New York Times. And this is momentous. It's not because if it's anything you haven't heard before, it's because of who's saying it. This is one of the president's defenders-in-chief. Bob Herbert is a proud, solid liberal, used to be with the New York Daily News, now with the New York Times op-ed page. And his piece today is entitled "The Clinton M.O." He says the president's poll numbers are up. Large numbers of Americans are trying to cover their ears and close their eyes to any further developments in the Clinton-Lewinsky saga. They're counseling the media, let the story go. Clinton's sex life's his business, his and Mrs. Clinton's. If the president can't keep his hands off the White House help, well, at least the economy's in good shape. But willful ignorance never works. This is Bob Herbert writing to himself and his other liberal buddies as well as his audience. If we had paid close enough attention to the Jennifer Flowers fiasco in '92, we would have realized by now that these matters are not just about Mr. Clinton's sex life. They're about patterns of lying and abuses of governmental power that are at least as corrupt as accepting money in return for government favors. In the fall of '90, Ms. Flowers was broken out of work. She called her friend Bill Clinton, then governor of Arkansas, asked for a state job. Not much happened. The following February, Ms. Flowers sent the governor a letter suggesting she was ready to do something drastic. Quote, "Bill, I've tried to explain my financial situation to you and how badly I need a job," she wrote. "Unfortunately, looks like I'll have to pursue the lawsuit to hopefully get some money to live on until I can get employment." End quote. Now, Ms. Flowers was threatening to press a very public lawsuit against a radio station that had claimed she was Mr. Clinton's mistress. The governor got the message. Ms. Flowers was hired as an administrative assistant at a state agency called the Arkansas Board of Review. Now, this was bad news for a veteran state employee and mother of three named Charlotte Perry. Ms. Perry was up for the same job, filed a grievance when Ms. Flowers got it. A grievance committee ruled in Ms. Perry's favor, concluding that Ms. Flowers had been improperly hired. That meant nothing. A Clinton crony named Don Barnes, who headed the Board of Review, rejected the committee's findings. Early the following year, Ms. Flowers, on the tapes that she secretly recorded, can be heard telling Mr. Clinton, quote, "The only thing that concerns me, where I'm concerned at this point, is the state job," unquote. Mr. Clinton replies, quote, "Yeah, I never thought about that. If they ever ask you if you've talked to me about it, you can say no," unquote. And when Ms. Flowers told Mr. Clinton that she had lied about a certain matter to the grievance committee, and she was under oath at the time, Mr. Clinton said, "Good for you." Fast forward to Monica Lewinsky. Like Ms. Flowers, Ms. Lewinsky was a close friend of Mr. Clinton's, looking for a job. Landed a position at the Pentagon with a top secret clearance and lots of travel. But it didn't pay much, didn't seem to be working out. She's offered a job by UN Ambassador Bill Richardson, who had breakfast with her at the Watergate. She declined the offer. Last month, she accepted a $40,000 a year job with Revlon, whose chairman, Ron Perlman's a major contributor to Mr. Clinton. Ms. Lewinsky was recommended for the position by the president's good friend, Vernon Jordan. Even as the Revlon offer was coming through, Ms. Lewinsky was preparing a sworn affidavit in connection with the Paula Jones suit, in which she denied that she had ever had sex with the president. As with Jennifer Flowers, there is a convergence here of matters public and private that is dangerous and repellent. Thank goodness, Mr. Hurd, this is exactly what I have been saying. I hate to keep saying I, but I've been for 2 weeks now. I've been trying to point out that once the president brings in Vernon Jordan and all these other people, it's no longer private. He's turning the private matter public. Christopher Hitchens made this point in an LA Times op-ed piece last week. Now Bob Herbert gets on the same page. My friends, this is momentous for this to happen. Herbert writes, "This is about a governing style so reckless and so contemptuous of both the truth and the public that potentially paralyzing scandals are all but inevitable. It is about deceit as a way of life. The public may not want to know, but it has a right to know." 10 days ago, Mr. Clinton looked the American people squarely in the eye and said emphatically, "I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Ms. Lewinsky." The polls show the public on the whole doesn't believe him. Not even his closest friends believe him. But the economy's doing well. So we're supposed... Didn't this sound like yesterday's show to you? And the day before? So we are supposed to sift through the moral wreckage that is the Clinton White House and find those bits and pieces of presidential credibility that might have survived. You'd think a great country like America would deserve better. Folks, if you got to know Bob Herbert. I mean, this is akin to Patricia Ireland writing this. This is akin to Ted Kennedy writing this. I am not exaggerating. It just is amazing. Speaking of Vernon Jordan, I think he's being unfairly castigated. I want to speak out in favor of Vernon Jordan. Because I think Vernon Jordan should be lauded and praised for taking an attractive white girl born into wealth in inner city Beverly Hills, and recently residing in a modest condo, certainly nothing special at the Watergate, and helping her rise above the disadvantages of her origins. I mean, he's just trying to help people in need. Inner city of Beverly Hills, and it has to live in some dump called a Watergate. It's perfectly understandable he would want to help this woman rise above those conditions that have kept her shackled for so long, isn't it? We'll be right back.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
For 5 years, there has been one publication way out in front of the mainstream press keeping you up to date on all the lies, scandals, and denials coming out of this White House. That publication, The Limbaugh Letter, full of my profundities and analysis, the Mr. Big of the vast right-wing conspiracy. And now, my friends, when you order a new subscription to my newsletter, you can get in on the offer of the millennium, your very own complimentary conspiracy coffee mug. This identifies you with me as a charter member of the vast right-wing conspiracy. Now, this mug will really rattle your paranoid liberal friends. The mug is not available in any store. You can only get one with a subscription to my newsletter. You've got to call 1-800-457-4141 now to get in on this offer. 1 year, 12 truth-packed issues of the Limbaugh Letter, and my vast right-wing conspiracy coffee mug for the low price of $29.95, plus $4.95 shipping and handling. The number, 800-457-4141. Conspire and call now.
At Courtyard by Marriott, our special weekend rates range from $49 to $64 a night. On the other hand, the cost of sleeping on your relative's floor ranges from a sore back to elevated blood pressure. And unlike Courtyard, your relatives probably won't throw in a whirlpool or mini gym. Rates good Thursday through Sunday through February 22nd at participating locations. Restrictions apply. Call your travel agent or 800-321-2211 at least 2 days in advance.
You've heard it before. Christ sells cars. Leaf Chrysler Plymouth, Jeep Eagle, Leaf Dodge Isuzu. Highway 70 west of Goldsboro. The Plymouth Breeze, only $13,795 or $205 a month. Leaf has the area's largest selection of program cars. A 97 Dodge Neon, only $89.95. A 97 Dodge Caravan, only $15,995. The area's largest selection of pre-owned cars and trucks, too. Leaf Chrysler Plymouth, Jeep Eagle, Leaf Dodge Isuzu. Highway 70 west of Goldsboro.
I'm looking for the best place to get some roses for my Valentine. Got any ideas?
Yeah, I got a beautiful gift basket and stuffed animal at Baskets and Blooms.
Okay, but what about the roses?
Hey, Baskets and Blooms has chocolates, balloons, and even fresh-cut flowers.
Well, great, but what about the roses?
They also have plants, custom gift baskets, and...
And the roses?
Oh, yes, of course, roses. And here's the best news of all. If you place your Valentine's Day order by February 10th, you'll get a 10% discount. 10% off by the 10th at Baskets and Blooms, 1205 Wayne Memorial Drive. Call 736-2599.
February is fabulous at Berkeley Mall. This Sunday, it's the sensational Flimsy the Clown performing from 2 to 5 p.m. Enjoy Flimsy's act, which includes juggling, magic, balloon sculpturing, and much more. Next week, Berkeley Mall will display the City of Goldsboro Human Relations posters. February 27th through March 1st, enjoy the baseball card and collectibles show. And on February 28th, don't miss the Torhunta District Cub Scout Pinewood Derby. All this and great shopping, too, during Fabulous February at Berkeley Mall, Berkeley Boulevard, Goldsboro.
It's hard to stop a Trane because every Trane XL 1200 Weathertron heat pump is designed, tested, and manufactured to last. Call your CP&L quality heat pump dealer, E.T. Farrell & Son of Mount Olive, and save on this heat pump. The Trane XL 1200 will run for years regardless of the weather. The compressor and coil are covered by Trane's 10-year manufacturer's limited warranty, plus 2 years on all parts and labor. Call E.T. Farrell & Son of Mount Olive, serving eastern North Carolina for over 50 years, 658-2971.
WG.
For you now. I'm going to wait till the next hour, the monologue segment of the next hour. But Reed Weingarten, Charlie Tree's attorney, spoke today outside a court where Charlie has been arraigned. And what Weingarten says, Charlie Tree's attorney, awfully interesting to me. And you will hear it. But I want to get some phone calls here, folks. That's why I'm going to delay it. We go to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Scott, hello.
Hey, Rush. We had the president here the other day, and there were no women missing, so we were pleased about that. Not even the evidence of sexual harassment. Nightline last night seemed to be saying it was the fiasco on the conspiracy, the right-wing conspiracy.
I saw it.
Okay, and I took from it they're saying, well, there really is no conspiracy. There's some collusion among some of the principal players, but you really can't find any conspiracy. But my question is, why even give any credence to it at all? That's what I don't understand.
Well, I'll answer the question for you as best I can with my own highly informed, highly educated, and full of wisdom personal opinion. For those of you who didn't see it last night, Nightline decided to do an in-depth examination of the right-wing conspiracy. And the first question is, come on. Everybody knows that this is nothing more than a tool being used by Mrs. Clinton to change the subject, to distract everybody. And why is Nightline allowing itself to be used this way? So, okay, you understand that. You watch the program, and you have to get into the details here, Scott. They concluded that there is no right-wing conspiracy. They had E.J. Dionne Jr. on. They had a number of people on that poked holes in the whole notion that a right-wing conspiracy got Monica Lewinsky her job, that the right-wing conspiracy found a way for Mr. Clinton to make advances toward her, that the right-wing conspiracy found a way to get her into the White House 30 or more times. I mean, they put the lie to it. I mean, they concluded that couldn't have happened. And they had Fred Barnes was on talking about the silliness of those extremists and kooks on the right who make it look like there's a conspiracy. But he pointed out they're so inept that they can't get anything done right except embarrassing everybody else. But why do it? Well, you have to understand, those of you who are conservative, look at how easily so many people believe that there is a conspiracy to explain everything. You got a conspiracy to explain TWA 800. You got a conspiracy to explain Vince Foster. You got a conspiracy to explain why the triangle is on the dollar bill. You have a conspiracy to explain why David Rockefeller knows Henry Kissinger. You have a conspiracy to explain why Ron Brown has a bullet hole in his head when he died in a plane crash. I mean, every event in America today seems to have a group of people who will be willing to believe a conspiratorial explanation. Why should the press be any different? Remember, the press, on balance, by their own admission in various polls, is 78, in Washington now, 78 to 80% liberal. Well, you know what liberals think of conservatives anyway. It's not who's right or wrong, it's good versus evil. And you know that to the left, all conservatives are the same. So the most extreme wacko conservative is all conservatives. Well, in just a human nature sense, you have to understand then why the press, mostly liberal, would be fascinated, not so much with whether or not a right-wing conspiracy was able to pull this off, but hey, is there one? Do these people work together? Are they coordinating this ongoing assault? Are they trying to do what they can to get Bill Clinton thrown out of office? I think it's totally understandable within the realm of human nature that the mainstream Washington press would look into it. There's something else that I have learned about Ted Koppel over the years, having gotten to know him. We're not on the best terms now, which I regret, but we're not. But I've been on Ted's show a number of times, and it's amazing, and I think this is good. If you saw the show last night, the last 10 minutes of this show were as introspective as any mainstream press show you will ever see. Ted Koppel spends more time examining why the press does what it does than anybody else on television. Now, the press is, the Washington Press Corps by its nature is introspective. I mean, they are a group of people around whom they think the world revolves. It's part of the power they have, and they're very much aware of it. But Koppel does more examination of the media and its motives and its practices than anybody I know. And I think that this closing, maybe it wasn't 10 minutes, 7 or 8 minutes, whatever it was, examination of the pack, and he called it this, the pack mentality of the Washington Press Corps. He's just as critical of the press on numerous occasions as he is on this right-wing conspiracy stuff. Now, to those of us who think that it's absolute folly that there is a right-wing conspiracy involved in the Monica Lewinsky case, just ask yourself, how many of these other conspiracies, if I say TWA, Flight 800, or whatever, do you believe? And yet the people who are in a position to know are beside themselves because they can't understand why you don't believe them. I mean, they've investigated it. There is no missile. There was no foreign terrorist attack. There wasn't a bomb or wasn't there some TWA. Why don't they? We've investigated this for over a year. Why don't they believe us? That's a conspiracy. Well, if you yourselves are capable of believing that, you have to certainly admit that the press would be willing to believe that you would conspire. So they're just examining it. This is the First Lady. She said it. Let's look into it. I think another reason they did it is because everybody's doing it. And one thing about Mrs. Clinton's remarks, it sure sidetracked the story. For a couple of days, Monica Lewinsky was the second or third story in the order of priority, and everybody was looking into this right-wing conspiracy stuff. I think Nightlight has said, well, we're the ultimate. We're the show of shows. We'll do our own version. We'll do our own trace. I think anybody who worries about this right-wing conspiracy stuff sticking should have been pleased after watching the show. They concluded there isn't one. And certainly isn't one, nor could there be one in this Monica Lewinsky stuff. Ron in Darien, Connecticut, I'm glad you waited. You're next. Ron, hello, are you there?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, mega dittos, Rush.
Thank you much, sir. Great to have you with us.
Yes. My point was, you were talking about these poll numbers and how they were analyzed, and one thing that what I feel is the poll numbers showing his high approval rating are probably misleading in themselves. Often the rating questions, and I don't know how these were phrased because we never see that in the papers, but it's
some polls you do. USA Today, sometimes they publish their questions.
Right, but a lot of times it's, how do you rate his performance? Poor, fair, good, excellent, something like that. Well, if you take Carter as being poor, Clinton probably in a lot of people's eyes is simply fair through luck and the fact that Congress kept him from a lot of his excesses. So a lot of this 67% approval rating might really be in the fair category.
Yeah, okay. I guess it could, but I don't think you need to complicate what Dion's analysis is. I mean, I mean, he deals with the results they have, and we have to take a break, folks. We'll be back.
Within 20 minutes, Ames approved us for $25,000.
Ames approved us for $15,000 with no upfront cost.
Homeowners are good as gold at Ames Home Loan. Good credit or not, you may qualify for $10,000 to $100,000 and more just by calling 1-800-326-2626. And if you call Ames right now, your payments won't start for 2 months. Call 1-800-326-2626 now. Equal housing lender, subject to confirmation of data and equity, offered in most states.
This is WGBR News, Goldsboro's very own.
It's time for a look at local news. I'm Thomas Vick on 1150 WGBR. Wayne County Emergency Service officials continue to watch the Neuse River. The river now just over 21 feet. Several roads remain closed because of high water. Bridges and Camps Bridge, Ferry Bridge, Hood Swamp, and Mill Creek roads. Roads being monitored for possible flooding include Stevens Mill, Lassiter, Buckhorn, Bryan Boulevard, Slick Rock, Pecan, Arrington Bridge, Broadhurst River, South John Street, and Claridge Nursery roads. The Goldsboro Sewer Treatment Plant continues to operate at beyond capacity, treating higher than normal levels of wastewater now because of all the rain received over the last week. Goldsboro Mayor Hal Plunk said levels of sewage and rainwater are now up to about 20 million gallons a day, almost double the maximum of 10.1 million gallons allowed by the city's permit issued by the state. As a result, lagoons are holding more than ever before. Plunk said the city will continue to pump what it can from lagoons to make more room. If the lagoons become full, secondary treatment would result, replacing tertiary treatment now done. Water can then be pushed through the plant faster because it would not be treated at the highest standard. Plunk said the concern now is will lagoon dikes break because of the enormous pressure releasing raw sewage into the Neuse River. Plunk noted he does not think that will happen, provided the situation does not get any worse. According to Plunk, city workers are monitoring the lagoons 24 hours a day. City of Goldsboro Attorney Harold Everett and attorneys for Time Warner are still trying to work out remaining problems in the current Goldsboro cable franchise deal. As a result, public cable review hearings scheduled for this month have been canceled. City Mayor Hal Plunk said yesterday it appears the problems will be worked out this month. Therefore, the public hearings will be held March 2nd and March 16th. Plunk said Everett has been having trouble reaching Time Warner's attorneys to iron out the problems. Dedication ceremonies for what Wayne County Public School officials consider the school technology model of the future will be held Sunday afternoon. The newest completed school in the county, Carver Elementary in Mount Olive, boasts state-of-the-art school technology with internet access in each classroom. Sunday afternoon ceremony gets underway at 2 in the school's multi-purpose room. A reception will follow. Ongoing legislation and consumer protection, 2 topics scheduled for discussion tomorrow at a special meeting of the Wayne County Bar Association. That's a look at local news. I'm Thomas